What's up YouTube, Zach here again with hopefully what will be a better deck profile that you don't have to mute. Today I will be doing an old favorite of mine, which is Agents. Maybe we should zoom out a little. Alright, so I will be doing Agents today. Some of you were requesting this. I did run this last format, that was like 3 months ago I want to say, or 4 months, I don't know. I decided to update it with cards that were made available to me and stuff like that. So yeah, I suppose we get right into deck profile. We've got monsters. Clearly, we're running triple Hyperion. This is not the Herald of Perfection build. I find ritual monster builds kind of inconsistent. So I've decided to just run pretty much pure agents. It's like chaos agents. I don't know why these guys are so red. Anyway, with that, you run triple Hyperion. I do run enough support, so I get him out pretty much whenever I draw him, he can hit the field. With this deck, you really want to focus on hand advantage, which is actually surprising considering how this format is going. But usually you'll want to have more advantage than your opponent if you're going to win the game. We've got 1 Earth, and this deck is a little slow for the format, but if you make sure you maintain advantage, which is hard to do against Chaos Dragons, but against any other deck, then you can usually keep up and then win the game late game. So then we've got 1 Earth, because it got limited to 1, obviously. Triple Venus, because now, I was running 2 before, when we had 3 Earths, but now, since it's been limited, I felt that you've needed 3, just so you can get your triple Shine Ball out in time. With that, of course, you make Gachi Gachi, or Dark Mist, or Shining Elf. Next, we've got Double Jupiter. Double Jupiter is just to make up for the lacking Earth. So now I'm running the same agents I was last format, just in a different form. And these actually won me games where I've had Gachi Gachi out on the board and like a Venus Engrave, and you can actually boost them up to 3,000 to attack over stuff. 26 without Gachi Gachi. And then, obviously, since we're running so many lights, we run an Honest. Now we'll get into, like, the weirder stuff. We've got Triple Tour Guide and the Sangan. Sangan, obviously, you'll use to search for Earth or whatever you need at that time. And then Tour Guides make your rank 3 plays, stuff like that. You do Banish a lot, so Leviary is extremely live in this deck. And you don't want it getting bottomless, which is why I run Forbidden Lance, which you'll see later. We've got double Spirit Reaper just to sit behind. Like I said, this deck is slow and needs to accumulate advantage, and with Spirit Reaper, you usually have the time to do that. Next, we've got Triple Effect Veiler. This deck would lose 2 Inzectors without it. They just OTK like crazy. Search it with Sangan, plus it makes your Blackluster Soldier and Chaos Sorcerer alive. We've got Gores, just stopping ridiculous amounts of battle damage, and in addition to that, we've got Trigodia. I actually used Trigodia where I discarded Hyperion, took their BLS, and then like went for game. So, really love Trigodia. I like them at 1 just because I don't want to draw them all the time. I don't want to have 2 in hand, but I mean, I just don't have room for 2 essentially. Then we've got Blackluster Soldier and Chaos Sorcerer, just because you don't always see Blackluster Soldier, so I wanted to have 1 more Chaos element, and Chaos Sorcerer actually won me a game, so I have no complaints running him. So yeah, that's it for the monsters. It's like 25, I want to say. It's still very monster heavy, it's just not nearly as monster heavy as it was before. I'm running more traps in place of that. For consistency, we have Pot of Duality, everything goes to the grave, so we have Avarice, Staples, Monster Reborn, and Dark Hole. Like I mentioned, we do run 1 Lance, just for protecting Leviair, protecting Hyperion when he comes out, Blackluster Soldier, so many things that need protection from Bottomless, and I feel Lance does that adequately. Mind Control, because we run tuners? I don't know. We run Effect Veilers, and so many different levels of monsters that you can exceed with pretty much everything in this deck. In addition to that, we run Heavy and double Mystical Space Typhoon. Heavy Storm, obviously. Double Mystical Space Typhoon just for basic back row removal. I feel like I didn't need 3. Hyperion took care of a lot of that, and then Lance also helps. So, traps, we've got, again, Solemn Brigade, Not so sure about warnings. I kind of want to put bottomlesses in just so I can keep up with Chaos Dragons better. I don't really like paying this many life points. With this deck, since it's slower, you really want to also, in addition to making sure you have advantage on your opponent, you want to make sure that your life points, you will get whittled down in this deck just from small things, and warning really isn't always live, especially like you want to make sure your Venuses are more live than your warnings. In addition to that, we've got double torrential because you can never go wrong with torrential. So yeah, that's it for the whole deck. I think it's like 40 cards. I've been testing it on Dueling Network and I haven't really done poorly with it, so I have no complaints. I don't exactly have an extra deck built, but I'd imagine you'd run synchros like Mistworm, Scrap Dragon, Brio, Catastor. Maybe you'd run Thought Ruler, I have no idea. I mean, he's really a good level 8. Gotcha, you obviously run. I think I had Tempo in there. Leviathan's basic rank 3. Acid Golem, you want to run Leviair. I'm trying to think of what else you might run. Mirza Rhythm. You'd run Ancient Sacred Wyvern, maybe TG Hyper Librarian. Just a bunch of random synchros. Because you do have the Earth Tuner, but then you also want to run a lot of Exceeds for your tour guide plays and such. So yeah, that's it for the deck profile. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe below. I'd love to hear what you think about bringing back old type format decks like this. Obviously updated with the current ban list. I'm hoping they get a little support, maybe like Earth back to 2 or something, because the deck was completely mutilated and now you have to kind of warp it into more of a chaos build just for it to compete. Anyway guys, like I said, rate, comment, subscribe below. Love to hear what you think. Leave channel comments too, like stuff like that. That's always cool. Don't feel afraid to, I don't know, message me or something. I'll try to respond. I'm usually not the most responsive person out there. But I'll give it a shot. Alright, thanks guys.